what is the routine that we should follow? Somebody has pitta aggravated, somebody has kapha. So what is the general approach? What every person can do?
So if you still don't know which dosha is out of balance and you want to already start to do something,
Yeah.
so you can do simple things like go to bed before 10 o'clock at night, for example. For all doshas, it's good to go to bed early. Like there's no such thing as a recommendation to stay till 2 o'clock in the morning for
So we all are
anyone.
just scrolling on our phones.
Yeah, not like sitting scrolling on your feeds and until 1 a.m. So obviously everybody going before 10 o'clock at night, it's good for everyone. Also the way that the time works. So before 10 p.m. if you go to bed, then it's still kapha time. So kapha time, it will help you to fall asleep easier.
Okay.
And then if you stay up after that, it will be much harder to fall asleep and you will be already influenced by the doshas, right?
So guys, you have to put your phones in a basket and then just go to sleep before 10 p.m.
Before 10 is better for everyone. Then having lunch around 12, like noon time. This is when your Agni, your digestive fire, is the strongest. So that should be the main meal of the day for everyone. So try not to skip meals during lunchtime. So the lunch, it's good for everyone to have lunch. And drinking warm water, so not drinking any cold water, because the cold water, again, it compromises the function of the Agni, the digestive fire. So we shouldn't drink any cold drinks or eat any cold foods like from fridge or freezer. Nothing like ice creams and things like chilled drinks. We should not be having that. It's not good for anyone. So drinking warm water, and you can also put a little bit of some herbs into the water, like some spices, like you can put some coriander seeds or something like that. If you struggle just drinking warm water like plain, put little bit like cumin or coriander. It helps with digestion. But otherwise, just like waking up in the morning, drinking warm water first thing in the morning, it will be good for everyone to start to implement like this, something easy.
Right. And maybe I guess like if we add yoga into a lifestyle as well, it will help a lot, because yoga and Ayurveda are the sister science. Is there any particular yoga asanas or like some breathing practices? What practices we can do in our daily life?
So actually, it's best to do practices as per your dominant element. So for example, for kapha person, like not kapha person, but someone who has high kapha, I'm just generalizing. For example, for them, it's good to wake up really early in the morning before 6 o'clock and go and start to do asana, the practices that are a lot more vigorous. So they can be more energizing kind of asanas. So more like warrior poses, for example. Arm balances, something that lifts them up from the ground. So it gives them energy and strength. So more strengthening poses. Someone who has pitta as dominant, it's good for them to also practice in the morning, but they can do something that is a little bit more focusing on relaxing the solar plexus area and also gives them a little break before asanas. Something that works on the solar plexus, and also after doing one asana, take a couple of breath, then move to the next one, because pitta it's just go. There is no breaks to it. They're very hyperachievers, and they want to do more strong practices to prove themselves they can. And so sometimes they overexert themselves in that way. So it's actually good for them to do the asanas that have a little bit of a couple of breaths between. Just take that time, and the breathing would be more as well. Like if you take 4 breaths, you take a couple of seconds of suspension of the breath, then you exhale on 4 and you take suspension of the breath for a couple of seconds. So it helps them to not just keep going, but to have that break, to have that little bit of relaxation in between, this reflection, so it will help to stay more balanced in that way. And for Vata dominant, it's good for them to not do strenuous practices, so more grounding practices, because Vata is mainly air and
Yes.
space, so they're already up there. So they need to ground more, so sitting poses and poses that are more like balances, like tree pose, for example, or
Yeah.
warrior pose also is good, and seated poses like Paschimottanasana.
Just to
Anything,
ground,
yeah, to
them,
ground,
so yeah,
and also
yes.
nothing strenuous, so they shouldn't exert themselves too much, so they should take care that to do the practices slowly, so because they're very fast. Vata is very quick and they lose their focus very quickly, so it's good for them to have drishti, the focus point when they're practicing, to keep their gaze at one spot as well, to help to be more concentrate. Yeah, they need to bring more concentration, and something even like Ujjayi breath can be helpful. Yeah, or like abdominal breathing, because that's the seat of Vata. So breathing with the belly, the expansion and contraction of the belly, or doing Ujjayi also helps that with that concentration. So just doing these little things, it can already change the practice. And they should, like, of course, we should always practice mindfully, not mindfully, but consciously. Yeah. So there has to be. We need to be present with what we're doing when we do the practices, not be distracted with the phone or anything that goes on around. So there has to be like a sacred space. So we dedicate the time to the practice, and we know, okay, now it's time for the practice. So you need to be present with yourself and not be distracted. So that's also like there has to be some focus brought, the energy brought into the practice. So it flows from the beginning to the end.
So many people are practicing yoga for so many years. They have been into the yoga asanas, they are from childhood, but they don't tend to see that Ayurveda comes along with yoga. It is the sister sciences. So what do you want to say about that? They don't feel that it is important to follow Ayurvedic principles into their life just because they are just doing some asanas and some yoga.